Simple Speed Athletics here, back with another video. We're going to talk about a new segment we are starting here on the channel. It's going to be daily questions, basically. So any questions that I get on my Instagram or YouTube, I'm going to try to translate back to this. Especially if it's a big question I get asked a lot, I'm going to try to translate it so I can give it to everybody at one given time, so everybody can get this good knowledge and I don't have to individually write it to everybody. You know what I mean? All right, so we are going to start off this segment. We're going to talk about gaining weight with high metabolism. Basically, you want to try to figure out what your calorie actual intake is when you're doing this. When people do this, they start to get kind of confused. They think because they're eating a lot, it means they're having a lot of calorie intake coming along with it, which in general, you're a lot. And the actual lot that you need is not a lot, if you understand what I mean. But just in layman's terms, let's say you took in 1,500 calories. You took in 1,500 calories, and you burnt 2,000. What does that tell you? It tells you that you're in a deficit at this point. So a deficit means that you're in a red zone. That means that you're not gaining anything at this point. So as a person with a high metabolism, you may not lose a lot of weight, but you're going to be in a neutral zone. And this portion would normally work for somebody that's losing weight, and they'll lose like maybe a pound a day, if they're taking care of themselves properly. And they're not looking for that gratification right then and there. So yeah, it would work for them like that, 1 pound a day, 1 pound a week, I'm sorry. And that would get them that result. But as a person looking to gain that mass, you have to be over your calorie intake once that day is over. So if you're a person that's trying to gain mass, normally a lot of the athletes, what they'll do, they'll have practice and then they'll go lift weights. If you are not over that calorie intake by the end of your weightlifting or your practice or whatever you choose to do, you are not going to be able to gain weight. And it's not even just a person with high metabolism. It's literally just anybody. Unless they're just sitting around doing nothing and just eating all day. And even then, you're still not burning calories. So it's still a calorie intake issue. So when you think about the actual concept of how people view eating a lot, they'll come around to their friends. They'll say, "Oh, she eats all day. She eats all day. She doesn't gain anything," or "She eats all day. She eat whatever she wants to." But you have to understand that you have to analyze everything that person ate in a day in order for you to actually say that this person ate a lot and didn't gain weight, or this person ate this much and didn't gain weight. But I guarantee you that person that you're analyzing and you're trying to base your work off of most likely either didn't eat breakfast. They didn't eat lunch. Maybe they don't snack in between. Maybe that one meal they had that day was the only time they eat, is because when they hang out with you, that's the only time they feel like eating. So you have to analyze things like that when you're trying to take yourself around somebody else, because you cannot base your situation based on somebody else only knowing partial facts. It just doesn't work like that. And what I tell every one of my athletes, clients, when they have this particular problem, I tell them, take a notebook. For the first week of us working on this, they'll write down exactly what they ate, the calories they have, and it's so easy to find out calories and everything. It's either on the box, you can write it, you can look it up on Google. You have apps for it at this point. Like, you can basically do anything you want that you want to find information on the food that you're eating. It can be found basically anywhere, and there's no real excuse to not know what you're putting in your body at this point in time in your life. You write it down. You write down the time you ate it. You write down how much sleep you had that night. You write down the activities you had. So this way, at the end of that week, you can go back and look and say, like, dang, like, you're thinking in your brain, like, man, I've been eating a lot, but you're eating a lot of like crap. You're eating a lot of crap. So like, you might be eating some Cheetos and a whole bunch of stuff. So you're thinking this should be putting on weight. This is a whole bunch of fatty stuff. This should be putting on weight. But you're not understanding that the Cheetos, they had like what? I don't know, 50 grams of fat. Matter of fact, we'll do this. I'll show you how easy it is at this point to look something up. A bag of Cheetos. This is how easy it is to look at something. 380 calories in a bag of Cheetos. That took me 5 seconds. So all I do is look that up. The bag of Cheetos, a whole bag of Cheetos, 380 calories. So, and that's a small bag. Sorry, let me be specific. That's a small bag of Cheetos. So, going through that, people assume like, oh, I ate this bag of Cheetos, whatever, and I eat like this, but it's so much spread across, and then after school is out, you have your your practice, so that's gone. That's gone after the warm up lap, but they don't put that into account when they're doing this, and that's where a lot of people come into the issue is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different outcome. So that if you're not gaining weight with this large amount that you're eating, what's that tell you? You're not doing something right. Change it. Look at what you're eating, how much it is, and what you're putting in your body. If any of you guys need help or any of you guys have problems, questions on the video, go ahead, like, subscribe this video, and head over to my Instagram. You can Simple Speed Athletics. Go ahead and write me a message on there. You can write me a comment on here, and I'll address them as soon as I can. Appreciate everybody for watching the video. Go ahead and share it with everybody you know. Deuces.